Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I'm Razzle11. You can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Here to take a look at the pitching for today, the 7th of June. It is Sunday. We do have a 10-game main slate ahead of us today. A couple of slight weather spots, but nothing to worry about as of right now. Obviously, the New York Yankees Boston game yesterday ended up being rained out, which was kind of weird. I thought, and then a bunch of other people also thought that there was going to be clearing, and they could have gotten the game in. Assume they just didn't want to start the game at like 9:30, 10 o'clock local time when they have to play at 1:30 in New York today. So, but we get a 10 gamer to worry about. This is a first look at the pitching options on the slate, and I will be looking at DraftKings as that is where a majority of my action is. If you do play in FanDuel, cut my pool in half or so. Pricing isn't quite as tight. You don't have to be as creative. It allows you to get stacks you want with an upper tier-ish pitcher. It's an interesting pitching slate. Some question marks for me. Not really any slam dunk options, in my opinion. So, what are we going to do? Let's just go game by game and try to eliminate some names. Make it easier for us so that we can spend the next couple hours digging into some of the questionable names in order to create our pitcher pool for this slate. Pitt in Atlanta, Bryce Elder, Bubba Chandler. Bryce Elder's had a pretty decent season so far. He's kind of come back down to earth a little bit over the last month. He hasn't been as strong at home from a fantasy point perspective, but he's been pretty good. His K numbers are really down at home. Does get a bit of a K boost, I would say, in this particular matchup. And given the options that we do really have, I think Elder is somebody we're just playing and accepting. Bubba Chandler, I'm just not chasing this 11 strikeout performance against Toronto. He's been far from consistent. You see 2 starts since then against team that strike out more than Toronto. He combines for just 8 strikeouts. Walks are a huge issue, so I'm just not getting to Bubba Chandler against the Atlanta Braves. White Sox Phillies, I have zero interest in pitching in this game. Noah's been fine the last couple starts. 13 strikeouts over his last 11 innings. Pretty solid. While there is K upside for him, I just don't think it's a good spot. I think the White Sox have plenty of power. His numbers at home have been pretty bad, allowing a ton of base runners, a ton of hits, etc. So I'm just not getting to Aaron Nola today, and I'm just not playing David Sandlin. We faded him last time out against Minnesota after he had a strong debut. Just no interest in dealing with the White Sox pitching. New York and Boston. I'm still waiting to see if the Yankees are actually starting Schlittler today. Warren was supposed to start yesterday, so are they going to skip him? Are they, push everybody back? I'm not really sure. I think whoever New York throws is in play. Schlittler obviously better than Warren, but it's a nice price tag to have to pay for Schlittler. But I do think he bounces back if he does start today. Rough start his last time out against the Guardians. But I do, like I mentioned, think it's a pretty good bounce back spot. Shut down Boston earlier this season when he faced them. From the Boston area, so I think it means a little bit more to Schlittler. So even though his numbers at home haven't been as strong, I think they're a little skewed by his last start since he had only made 4 starts before that at home. He's got to be in play for me. Ranger Suarez has plenty of upside. Struck out 10 in his last start. Struck out 10 and absolutely dominated Toronto a month and a half ago. Struggled against the Yankees first time he faced them. There's no Aaron Judge, obviously, so I do think that weakens the lineup just enough to make Suarez viable on this slate. Baltimore, Toronto. Always going to play Gausman, I think. Uh, Baltimore does have some power, but they do have some swing and miss. I'm curious to see what Gausman's numbers are in his career against Baltimore. He did pitch for them. Maybe a little bit of revenge in his heart. Not necessarily revenge, since he has pitched against them a number of times now, but still, maybe some disdain for that organization based on, I don't know, how he was treated or whatever. Never really know what drives a player's motivation, but Kevin Gausman always has the upside to be SP1 at the end of the slate. On the other side, Shane Baz definitely has turned it around recently. The walks are still an issue. Strikeout numbers have increased a bit, but Toronto also doesn't strike out very much. In fact, they average the fewest strikeouts per game in all of baseball. With that said, Baz has been pretty good. Over the last 3 starts. He has been best when on the road, which is where he's at. Again, the walks being a huge issue when he's on the road. I might have to mix in Shane Baz just based on the fact that we don't have a whole lot of slam dunk pitching on this slate. Shane Baz is probably somebody I want to dig into a little bit more to make a final decision on. Seattle and Detroit. Flaherty been pretty bad for most of the season. Kind of turned it around the last couple. He's kind of cut back on the home run ball, which I guess he wasn't really allowing too many of them. I think the biggest issue is a lot of walks. He appears to have that figured out. It is a super volatile spot, but I think I want to mix in some Flaherty. He's been at his best when pitching at home. 40 strikeouts and 30 in the third innings, so been pretty solid. Just 2 home runs allowed at home as well. I think he's somebody that people might overlook a little bit, and that interests me, even though it comes with a ton of volatility. Luis Castillo, probably not somebody I want to get to, even though I have been picking on Detroit for much of the season. His numbers continue to be worse when pitching on the road with the Mariners. I think Detroit's hit a couple home runs in this series. I know Bryce Miller kind of shut them down, but I think they hit some home runs off of Woo. I just don't really want to trust Luis Castillo. And I think we can just get his kind of return from other pitchers at this point. 71 pitches is his high over his last 3 starts. So, not really sure if they're going to let him, get to 6 or 7 innings. Tampa Bay, Miami. Griffin Jack's starting experiment just blows my mind. He's just not going to be in play for me. He really needs to be in the bullpen, but that's for another day. Sandy Alcantara on the other side. Tampa Bay is the second toughest team to strike out behind Toronto. Alcantara is just all over the place in his return. He's pretty solid against them first time he faced them, which is nice to see. But for the most part, he's been nowhere near the person he was for the first 3 starts of the season. Given the slate and how it is, I might have to consider him. I'm going to really debate and go through Shane Baz and Alcantara to get an idea if I want to play either of them. I'm just not in the habit of playing pitching against Tampa Bay. Even though I think most of that lineup is weak, they're just not weak enough for a pitcher to rack up fantasy points. Kansas City, Minnesota. Noah Cameron coming off of an elite start for him. It's done so in 2 out of his last 3 starts. If Buxton is out of the lineup, I think Cameron is definitely in my pool. I think he's going to end up there anyways. He did shut down Minnesota his first start of the season. Obviously, that was 2 months ago now. But 8 strikeouts in 2 out of his last 3 starts. That's one of the biggest things is he doesn't really strike out a whole lot, and then he had been walking a ton. Does a great job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He had a couple bad starts here, back to back, and then last time out was his first home run allowed since the middle of April. So I think Cameron's in play. I'm going to really like him if Buxton is still out of the lineup. Connor Prelip on the other side. I like Connor Prelip's upside. I like his ability. I hate the walks. I hate that he seems to hit a wall. Like, he looked decent and then all of a sudden kind of fell apart a little bit. But he's another one I'm just going to debate. I lean more towards not playing Connor Prelip, but I tend to just play him. Maybe that's the Twins fan in me, but uh, definitely has upside. The Athletics in Houston. Gage Jump, the guy that I've been playing, looked pretty good in Wrigley. I believe the wind was kind of blowing in that game, so it is what it is. But still, um, some of the Houston offense has definitely come alive, but I think Gage Jump can get it done. I think a left-handed pitcher against Houston probably plays decently well, but it's not some slam dunk spot. He's going to pitch. His pitch counts are going to be in the 80s, but there's enough upside. He showed more K ability in the minors, so I like to believe that there is K upside in his arm. Burrows on the other side gets destroyed by left-handed bats, which was why we were so big on Pittsburgh in this one. The A's have some pretty strong left-handed bats. But as a lineup, I think the A's have kind of cooled down, so I am a little intrigued by Burrows as well. I kind of want to dig in a little bit, but I do think I might mix in some Burrows on this slate. Cincy St. Louis, Rhett Lauder coming off the IL to make his start. It's been on the IL for about a month. He did allow 3 runs, 70 pitches. Probably not fully stretched out. He only made 1 rehab start, but 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. Coming off the IL, pretty good. I'm just not going to get there. I want to see what he's got in his return from the IL. McGreevy, not a huge fantasy point upside guy. Dominated San Diego earlier, so I guess it does show his raw upside, but generally he's just allowing base runners. Hits, walks, not a huge K guy. Cincinnati does offer K upside, but I just don't think I'm getting to McGreevy on this slate. Cleveland, Texas, last game on this particular slate. You got DeGrom. I believe is the second most expensive pitcher on the slate, taking on a Cleveland team that isn't a huge strikeout team, but they also don't have an overly dangerous offense. J-Ram appears to be heating up, but some of that offense is definitely ice cold. So I'm just always going to play DeGrom because he has the massive upside, right? Like, he absolutely dominated the Cubs for 38, 31 against Pittsburgh, 29 against the Dodgers. He's been far less consistent this season, so there's some volatility to him, but I think we'll just play DeGrom at this point. Cantillo on the other side. It's really been all over the place. Do I think there's upside for him in this matchup? Kind of. Do I really want to play him? Not really. Walks are way up. Strikeouts are kind of down. 4 or less strikeouts in 7 of his last 8 starts. It's not really a great trend. So I think we can just pass on Cantillo and be fine when all is said and done. But there we have it. There's our first look at the pitching option on the slate. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell, and get the alert anytime we drop videos here at TFS Army. If you want to join us, get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc. I will drop links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ for 10% off any MLB package, or Best Ball 2026 gets you 20% off any NFL or VIP Core 4 membership, and that is for the life of your membership with DFS Army. There will be a link to the merch store. You can check out my design and all the other ones that have been put together on the site. And as always, best of luck, everybody.